All right, sorry if I'm talking a little quietly. My kid is napping in the other room. He is sick right now. I read this week a book called Amazing Black Atlantic Canadians by Lindsay Ruck, and it's just this like little series of profiles of Black folks from Atlantic Canada who have like made their mark on history or had some sort of notable accomplishment. Definitely had a lot of figures that I'd never heard about before, so it was good to like read and learn more about Black history in the region. I enjoyed it overall, for what it is. It's not a narrative, it's not a story, so it doesn't have any like incredible plot or anything I can really talk about that way, but like there were definitely a lot of interesting figures, a lot of interesting firsts, and I'm saying interesting a lot, but there was a lot to cover. I didn't expect there to be that much to cover, but indeed there was. And also it was nice to see, several examples coming from PEI, which is where I'm from. A lot of this stuff did come out of Nova Scotia, which I expected because of the Underground Railroad. A lot of people from the Underground Railroad came out in Nova Scotia, but there was also like examples throughout the Maritimes, which I appreciated, because sometimes you read books that say they're about Atlantic Canada and then they're just about Halifax. I will say there were some issues with the editing. Some profiles did not give any dates, and so they're talking about the accomplishments of this person, and I have zero context. Did this happen in the 1870s, the 1920s, or the 1980s? I don't know, which lends, a different, knowing what era certain accomplishments are happening in lends some important context and weight to what is being said. There was also like at least one profile where there was like a major typo that made what was being said contradictory. It was saying something about this person went to middle school in the 70s, but then in the next sentence it was talking about them being in university in 1971, and I was like, that's not mathematically possible. I think they meant they were in middle school in the 1960s, but there was a typo that didn't get caught. There was also, when I read it in the book, I was completely confused. It included Rocky Johnson, who was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's father, and it references him like training in Ontario, I think, but that's like the only reference to Canada, and otherwise it doesn't talk about him being in Canada, let alone Atlantic Canada, and I was super confused why he was included. I had to look up Rocky Johnson on Wikipedia to find out that he was born in Nova Scotia. They just forgot to include that, which is, an oversight. So there were definitely some issues with the editing and stuff. This book needed a little more tweaking and polish, but I think it is still like a good like introductory place if you just want to get an idea of like what kinds of things have happened and are happening in the Maritimes, and like what are some names and movers and shakers. I think this is a good book to look to. I know this is a short review. There isn't a whole lot to say about this book. So thank you for watching. If you made it this far, leave any black emoji you want down below, or actually, no, leave a 10 down below in honor of Viola Desmond, a black woman who was honored by being put on the $10 bill in Canada. So put a 10 down below if you made it this far, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!